Okay, we're going to do a little real estate photography critique, just browsing Zillow. Right here, right off the bat, you want to make sure that you show your entire home. This side that's being cut off is completely unacceptable. So I'm guessing this is a realtor photographer that if they just had a few techniques, they'd be able to correct these things. One of the reasons why this is getting cropped out is probably because they don't have a wide enough angle lens. So they might not be able to back up anymore to get further away from this house. Maybe there's a wall or something like that, or maybe there's a car that's in the way. But if they would have had a wider lens, they could have showed this entire house. And having it cropped at the top, and especially the side is what really makes it look bad. When they originally took the photo, it may have been that they showed the entire right side, but then the aspect ratio of Zillow may have cut it out. As you can see, it looks like this aspect ratio right here is just a regular square, whereas most cameras, and when you're watching a computer screen or a TV, the aspect ratio is usually much wider. So you have to take that into consideration of where your photos are going to be hosted. And you can see that all of these look like they're just a square ratio rather than wide. This is obviously not a wide angle lens. We can see that everything just kind of looks close up. One of the techniques that you want to do when you're doing real estate photography is you want to make the place look big. And the way that you do that is you get a wider angle lens. All right, here they're backed up. It looks like they're actually maybe right next to this countertop, and they're probably using a cell phone. They should have stepped back all the way to the corner to try to get more of this visible, and it would have made more of these cabinets visible on this left side too, and would have showed more of this, I think, refrigerator right here on the right. Always step as far back in the corners as you can to make sure you get the whole room. Here's a duplicate. Now they just turn their phone a little bit to the right. Another rule of thumb is don't post duplicate photos. Have this one next to this one and decide which one you like better, because they're too close to post both of them. It just ends up wasting time. So just compare them before you upload. Just decide which one's a better photo, this one or that one, and pick it. This isn't bad for a cell phone picture. Bathrooms are always hard to photograph if you're a professional or if you're an amateur. Even when you have a completely wide angle lens, a lot of times bathrooms are very, very tricky. You have to make sure that you don't get in the reflection. You want to show what is in the bathroom. So it's good that they showed the tub here, the toilet, and the sink. It is tilted down. The phone is tilted down. With one of my clients, it's our protocol to always have the camera completely straight, to where you never get these lines that aren't completely parallel. See how the side of the frame here, how it angles down? No gap here, but then there's a giant gap here. And the line's going down this way towards the center, and then this line is going down this way towards the center. So this one's going towards the right, this one's going to the left. So some real estate companies won't even let you shoot with it tilted down. But I think that's a rule that you could break, especially if you're not working for a client that is requiring that. Because I think it's a lot more important that you get that tub in view that looks nice rather than having these lines parallel. This is probably the best photo so far. The reason it looks pretty good is all homes are going to be low light for a camera phone. So the less light there is, the more grainy and low resolution it's going to look. This had a lot of sun coming in, and I think there's might be some lights in here. So it just brightens the whole thing up, and this photo works. Again, if you wanted to make it a little bit better, you would have these lines parallel to the side of the frame. See how this is a smaller gap than here? If you were, and over here, see this line that's going down? How it's touching here and then wide here? So if the photographer that was holding this phone just tilted it up like a half an inch, it would bring those lines in perfectly. All right, this is a problem. We're used to looking at nice full-size pictures the whole time, and then all of a sudden we have this tiny thumbnail. It doesn't make any sense. This should never be uploaded in this size. It's frustrating to look at. It's jarring, and it just doesn't look professional. If this photo was big, we'd still be on a roll. Okay, this photo looks okay. I like all the light, nice and bright, but there's shoes right here. That's just weird. I mean, this home is staged beautifully. For there to be shoes right there is just awkward. Okay, this is kind of grainy and blurry. It's probably in almost near the same room. Okay, here's the fireplace right here. All they did is turn to the right, and you have this nice crisp photo, and you turn to the right, and then you have this grainy, dark photo. I don't really know what happened. Some sort of settings on the cell phone camera probably. Always turn on every single light in the house. Do that right when you walk in, before you do anything. Just go around and turn every single light on. So you should have light coming out of whatever the room this is. If there's a hall light right here, it should be on. Again, this photo looked like it could have been good, but you can't even see it. It's too small. It's like a thumbnail size. It's going to be really hard with a cell phone camera to get the inside bright and the outside exposed well. That's going to be pretty hard. You can download some different apps for your phone to try to work with that. And if you're going to use Photoshop, then you can definitely make it work. Right now, I'm just trying to critique if you weren't going to do any kind of post-processing. If you expose for the outside to make this look balanced, then your inside is going to be too dark. Only way you can get around that is to flash the inside or to do some HDR bracketing. So with the cell phone camera, it's going to be hard. There are ways around it though, and I'll get to those on my next videos. This light should be on. This light should be on. This light in the doorway, the hall should be on. It looks like everything's going to slide off and hit this sliding glass window because it's tilted. So try to just make your hands straight when you're taking this photo. The way that you can tell is this line that's straight down on the side of our screen should be straight down with this sliding glass door. But look at how off that is. So just a little bit of a balance and you'd be okay. You can buy balances and put them on top of your phone. Stick them on with a sticky tape. And some of these camera apps probably have a balance within them. I'll probably explore some of those options in my next videos. You can always step back out of the bathroom. You don't always have to be completely in the bathroom to shoot it. Cool stairs. See how dark this looks? You got the outside that's completely blown out. Even the neighbor's dark roof is completely blown out. Why isn't this light on? You have to have this light on. Also, the lines are off. As you can see, this is a parallel line on this tube here. It's right here close to the edge, and then it's far away. They're tilting the camera down right now to make that happen. Also right here, Look how close this parallel line is to the edge on the top, and then towards the bottom it gets wider and wider. All you have to do to correct that is to tilt the camera up. Okay, have you heard it enough? What's wrong with this photo? 3 things. And I'm not talking about from a professional photographer's point of view. I'm talking about if you were just in there shooting with your cell phone and holding it. 1, light. 2, lights. And it's being tilted down too much to where these lines are not straight. You can correct that by just holding your phone lower and tilting it up. Right now, you're standing tall and you're pointing it down. And having this too dark, look, if this light was on, you wouldn't have all this grain. Look how grainy that is. I think this is a light that's not on. I don't think this person turned a single light on in the house. Again, you don't have any lights on. Look at this. This grain is out of control. This is white. This is supposed to be white. Look at that grain. Okay, now you turned on some lights. Anytime you can turn on cabinet lights, sometimes there's lights in here, make sure you check. It makes it look a lot better. Always, first thing you do when you walk into a house, turn on all the lights and even look for the little tiny ones that could be underneath the cabinets. I would have liked to seen a deck shot where you're actually just shooting the deck towards the sliding glass doors to see what that looks like from both sides, so I can see what's to the left, see what's to the right. This must be from the deck again, looking down towards the neighbors. Showing off some pillows. This doesn't really make too much sense. You're way too close to the bed. You should be backed up all the way to the corner of the room, and this light needs to be on. Just needs to have some lights on down here. This is better. You probably don't need to have this photo at all. This one here, I don't think you need it. When you compare this next to this, just use this one. Get rid of this one. So if it's for real estate to be bought, don't do close-ups like this. This is an item. They're not buying an item, they're buying a house. When you're doing something for like an Airbnb, Evolve, rental property, then it's good. Go ahead and show the items. Close-ups of items of what the renters can use. Definitely show them close-up. It's good. Again, look at how dark this is over here. This corner is almost black, and this is completely white. If you just had a light on, especially if there's one on the ceiling, and this one on, it would actually negate this to be, it wouldn't be so blown out, and this wouldn't be so dark here. It would balance it out more and make it look a lot better. This is bizarre for a real estate listing to have this item close up. This doesn't make any sense. Maybe these photos were for an Airbnb and they're just using them for the listing of the house. That's what it could be. They might have had some already taken and they just threw them all up here. So, okay, that's probably my favorite photo yet. Look at this one, just works. Nice straight line, symmetrical, nice wide view. Kind of gets your orientation of where you are. Pretty. This should have been the first photo that we saw. Not necessarily because there's snow, but a nice wide photo where we can see the top of the house and the sides. We should probably be able to see more of this left side, but I get the trees in the way. All right. Getting closer here. Still though, why is this house being cut off on this side and we have so much room to the right? You have to center this photo up. Oh, and that's it for today's critique. If you're a real estate agent and you want to learn how to take photos yourself so you don't have to hire these flake photographers. If you're in Orange County, email me. In the description below is my email. If you want to come out with me on a shoot and I can show you what you can do with your own equipment, being that a camera or a phone, and I can show you these techniques, or I can show you what to buy for cheap, you can get in touch with me with my email that's below in the description of this video.